Hi, Jonathan and Brad. I love your podcast. I just wanted to ask about how the Roth 401k works. I do have a Roth IRA that I started last year after listening to you guys. And if I was to retire in about 10 years, when I hit my fire goal, hopefully, I wanted to know what would happen if I had a bunch of money in a Roth 401k and wanted to convert it over. Would I have to wait 5 years before I could start using the money? Or would I be able to use the amount that I put in, the 19,000 I put in every year, and go ahead and start using that immediately, like you can with a regular Roth IRA? Thanks.
All right, Brad, this is in your wheelhouse. Let's put on the accountant hat.
All right. Yeah, let's got to remember all the accounting stuff, right? So anyway, Sean Malini, the FI tax guy, we actually had him on episode 289 talking about the Roth 401k because this is a not all that well known option for people. So basically, I guess the most important thing to talk about here is just real quickly the difference between a traditional 401k and a Roth 401k, which is actually the same concept behind the difference between a traditional IRA and a Roth IRA. So in essence, with the traditional option, so traditional regular 401k, you are getting a tax deduction now. And when you pull the money out, it is taxable. So it's a taxable event when you pull the money out down the road in, let's say, in quote unquote retirement. Okay. Whereas with a Roth option, either 401k or Roth IRA, you are paying taxes on it now, and then it grows tax free forever. And when you pull the money out, it is also tax free. Okay. So these are just two fundamentally different options. Now, I'm not 100% certain about the caller's precise situation, but it sounds as if there's a Roth 401k and she's putting that money in through her job and is wondering, I guess, the 5-year waiting period that was referenced. So that's actually on a Roth IRA conversion. So that's actually something completely different. That's when you're converting a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA. So that's a conversion where you pay the taxes then. That's a taxable event. And then you cannot access that money until 5 years later. That's what we've talked about multiple times on the show about the Roth IRA conversion ladder, which is one of the best hacks that's available to people in the FI community.
But this is actually good. It sounds like bad news. It's actually good news, right? Because she
Yeah.
doesn't have to go through that process.
Right. She doesn't have to wait at all. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So yes, there's no bad news here at all for her situation. She has the money in a Roth already. She's, paid the taxes on it originally when she made that contribution. And yeah, once she gets to basically 59 and a half, which is when you're allowed to start accessing this money penalty free, she can pull that money out tax and penalty free. There's no conversion necessary. There's no wacky stuff. I guess theoretically, you could roll your money out of the Roth 401k into, let's say you left that company, right? And you don't want the money sitting there in that company's 401k, even though, it's 99.999% sure it's safe. That's not the issue. It's just you would rather have control of that money rather than a company you used to work for, right? So you can roll that to a Roth IRA, okay? That is fundamentally distinct from that conversion, right? That's a totally separate thing. The conversion is when you go from traditional to Roth. This is just a simple rollover. It's as if you had a regular 401k, you can roll that to a traditional IRA, okay? That is at a brokerage firm of your choice, Vanguard, Fidelity, Schwab, M1, whatever it may be, right? So I think really in her case, there's no issue here. It's you have a Roth 401k, you can roll that into a Roth IRA and have control over it, and you never have to pay taxes on this. So yeah, she's in real good shape.
All right. Thanks for the question.
Yeah, great question.